Remembering the monster makes me stop and take stock of my surroundings. I've been walking at a pretty good rate, unhindered by the weather and fueled by my bad mood. There's a small clearing just up ahead, and it looks like it might be a good spot to take a short break. It's not very big. I realize when I reach it, I could toss a stone from one side to the other. It doesn't feel as stifling as the rest of the forest, though. I clear my throat. It's the only noise I can hear. The sound of the village doesn't travel this far. They barely reach the cabin for the most part. Overhead, the sky is a crystal clear blue for the first time that I can remember. It's still freezing, but it isn't cloudy. Not even an airplane or vapor trail disturbed the tranquility. I rub my eyes and defog my glasses. I must look like a real mess out here. I do feel a little bit better, though. The fresh air alone has helped to clear my head. The snow underfoot is well trampled from my stomping around, and mud mixes with the slush to form a thin paste that sticks to my boots. If there was somewhere to sit down, this place would be perfect. I make do with leaning against a tree that's mostly dry. I'll need to remember how I got here. It'd be nice to have a place of my own to retreat to when I need it, away from the other two. Just as I'm enjoying the tranquility, there's a rustling sound overhead, and I look up just in time to get a face full of snow as it slides off a branch. Perfect timing. I cough and splutter, wiping away as much of it as I can, though a lot of it still falls onto my clothes. I flap my jacket like wings, trying to knock it out. Right then. From the corner of my eye, a quick motion catches my attention. It's gone too fast for me to notice more than a glimpse of fabric, and I turn around to see who it was. But there's nothing there, and no sign of anything having been there. Heart pounding, I walk over in the direction it came from, looking for footprints or something. I rub my eyes. Maybe it was the snow, messing with my vision. The harsh, unmistakable sound of a branch breaking cracks behind me. I spin around, expecting to see Tara there with a dumb smile on her face for having spooked me. But again, there's nothing. I pull my coat tighter around myself and press my back against a tree. Hello? Is someone there? My voice resounds through the clearing, but goes unanswered. Again, a flash of movement from the corner of my eye. This time I'm sure I see it. A glimpse of purple, darting behind a tree. I start towards it, hand reaching, but without a clear plan in mind, just like a dog chasing cars. I don't know what I'll actually do if I catch it. I walk into the middle of the clearing, turning a snow circle, hoping to spot whatever it was. Can you hear me? Hello? It already knows I'm here. There's no point in trying to hide. Snow crunches off to my left and I pivot, just in time to see a girl disappear behind yet another tree. Hey, wait! I might as well not be saying anything for all the effect it seems to have. I hurry to the tree where I saw her, but she's gone. I'm just running in circles, chasing after who knows what. My heart beats like a kick drum. A million possibilities race through my head, each more fantastic than the last. Maybe she's from the village. Maybe I imagined her. Maybe she's another forest spirit. Maybe she's the same forest spirit we saw before, in a different form. Any of them could be true. I've seen now that nothing is impossible. I look all around, searching for a clue and finding none. This is a bad idea, I know. Every single fairy tale I've ever read warns that this is a bad idea. Chasing after mysterious girls in the woods never ends well. She could be luring me to her secret lair, or could even be a disguise for some kind of terrible monster. Maybe it's the forest spirit coming to exact revenge for trespassing in its territory. I should turn and run. Race back to the cabin. If I told Tara and Morgan, I'm sure this is the kind of thing that would override Tara's annoyance, at least for now. It could be our chance to patch things up, pursuing some new mystery. Or I could not tell Tara, and I could solve the mystery myself, whatever it is. For the first time, something happened to me that doesn't involve Tara. I could keep it that way. My hand is trembling, but I reach out in the direction I last saw the girl, more as a sign of openness than anything else. Are you still there? Silence. If you can hear me, can you let me know? No response. My fingers close over empty air. This is stupid. I feel like an idiot talking to no one. If she wanted to be caught, she would have let me, I'm sure. But then, if she didn't, then what was the point of even showing herself? I'll come back tomorrow. Okay? If you'll be here again. It feels desperate. It is desperate. But I can't let this chance go. Not when this could be all I have. A light breeze blows through, as if to answer. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I stand there hoping for another sign. As I give up and turn back towards the path home, I see it. For just a split second, a bright pink light, crystal clear in the color of a sunset, flashes just once. It's the same as the one we chased through the forest several days ago. My breath catches in my throat, my muscles tighten, poised to follow, but my common sense overrides. As much as I want to, I can't just go running off into the forest on my own. I'd probably never find my way back. I swallow. If it can understand me, like it seems to, then I'll see it tomorrow, once I've had more time to prepare. I face the direction the light came from, even though it's gone now. I'll be back tomorrow. I promise. Morgan and Tara never noticed me come home. They might not have even noticed that I left. I don't make any effort to talk to them. I'm still too angry with Tara. Instead, I spend the rest of my day in my room, watching films or reading. All the research that I was so eagerly working on is put aside, stuffed into a folder that's out of sight on my hard drive. I have my own project now, my own lead to explore. The thought of that light and the mysterious girl in the woods stays on my mind through it all. Even late into the night, I can hear that Morgan's still over, in Tara's room with her. At some point, the sounds go from conversation to something else. I turn up the volume on my computer. They can do whatever they want. It's well past midnight when my eyes finally get heavy enough to sleep. The next day I head straight into the clearing without telling anyone. Nearly 24 hours to the minute since I left. From the thick clouds overhead, I can tell it's going to be a short trip. Still, I have to go, at least to see. My heart thumps with anticipation and more than a little nervousness. It's an odd mix. I force myself to keep a calm demeanor and not get too worked up. It's difficult. I'm hopeful, but I don't know what for. I don't have a camera or even my cell phone. There's no way I can prove anything that happens. And it's not like there's anyone who could vouch for me. Say they saw what I saw. For now, it's important that I keep it that way. This encounter, whatever it may be, will be mine and mine alone. Arriving at the clearing, I brace myself for what I might find. Nothing's changed. I'm met with silence. There's the faint sound of trees rustling in the wind and nothing more. Hello? Are you out there? I give it a moment, waiting and hoping for a response that never comes. Maybe it really was my eyes playing tricks on me. The light could have been a reflection of the sun, and the girl could have been... The girl could have been... There isn't a doubt left in my mind that the girl was there. There's no way I didn't see someone. Frustrated, I kick at some of the mush on the ground. It splashes up and splatters my legs. Are you there? I'm waiting. Please? I feel like a fool. I'm pleading with someone that may or may not exist to manifest. If someone had told me a week ago that I'd be up here doing this today, I'd have laughed at them. Everything about this situation is unlike me. My irritation builds up. With myself, with Tara, with the stupid ghost light, with everything. Whatever was there is gone now, and really, what kind of idiot convinces herself to come back for an imaginary date with a weird breeze? I clench my fist, looking without seeing. Slowly I turn circles, hoping for something, anything. I traipse back and forth at an increasingly desperate pace, not really sure what kind of clue I'm searching for, but just knowing that I can't sit still. If I sit still, then I'm giving up. And if I give up, then I really don't have anything left for me out here. For the second day in a row, I feel the sting of tears in my eyes, and I pinch my eyes shut to stop them. Not here. Not today. I hold my hand out there and suck in a deep breath. The cold air stings my throat. I steady my breathing, fighting back the urge to cry. After a moment, once the urge has passed, I lower my hand and open my eyes. And she's there. So silently and so suddenly that it's like she was never not there. The mysterious girl stands before me, barefoot in the snow but seemingly unfazed. She regards me with a curious look, her eyes wide, like I'm the one who's out of place. Now that she's here right in front of me, I realize that I don't know what to say. Hello, is all I could muster. My voice comes out weaker than I expected. Her eyes go wide at my word. Her lips move, but no sound comes out. She mouths something else again, still without a voice. I can't hear you. A frown. She turns away. Have I disappointed her? Is she gonna disappear again? Please don't go. I don't know why I want her to stay. Something is clearly different. Unnatural. This isn't a normal girl. That's exciting in and of itself. The girl turns back again to face me. She looks just as confused as I feel. There's a nervous sort of energy to her. Beneath the gown she's wearing, far too thin for the weather, the girl's legs are tense and ready to bolt. I take a step towards her, holding out my hand the same way I'd approach a kitten or lost puppy. My name's Madison. Can you understand me? She still looks a bit nervous but nods. So we speak the same language. That's good. Is she from Eysenfeld? I can't imagine she's from anywhere else. There's nothing else around. You were talking, right? Just a bit ago? But I couldn't hear you. Another nod. That means that for whatever reason her words can't reach me. Maybe she's naturally mute. Or maybe her voice was magically stolen. Every idea that comes to mind is more ridiculous than the last, but I consider them all equally. To my surprise, I'm able to remain calm and, by my standards, pretty level-headed. It seems like the girl is more afraid of me than vice versa. I drop my hand down, offering a handshake. She stares at it for a moment, maybe expecting it to turn into a snake, or for me to shoot magic bolts from my fingers. When neither of those happen, she gingerly, slowly reaches for my hand. It passes right through me. Her fingers glide through the palm of my hand like a breeze disappearing into the air. With a sad smile, she looks down, seemingly expecting this result. Horrific realization slowly dawns on me. The same tinge of certainty that guided me out here. This girl isn't really here in the same way that I am. You're a ghost. A slow, sad nod. She looks apologetic about it, for inconveniencing me with her lack of corporeal form. I'm sorry. The words feel weak and inadequate, and nearly like a non sequitur. But really, what do you say to a ghost? She shakes her head vigorously, hair flying about, trying to rid herself of some bad thought. She gives me a big smile and stretches her arms wide, turning about to gesture to the trees around us. What is it? I don't understand. The girl bites her lip, wondering how to better convey her message. Then with a decisive nod, she points at me, and then points at the ground between us. Pausing a moment, she holds that pose. Then she points at the trees, in particular the path I'd come from, and shakes her head. A flash of fear knifes its way under my skin. Is she threatening me? She definitely doesn't look like it. Something about where I came from? She nods and then repeats the pointing, first at me and then at the ground. Me, right here. Another nod. You're asking if I'll stay here? She nods and claps, hopping up. Except she doesn't come down. She hovers there as if suspended by invisible strings, then slowly lowers herself back to the ground. I'm not sure if it's what she's going for, but I smile. Are you showing off? She laughs and nods, glad to be understood. I can stay for a bit, sure. If you want me to, I mean. The girl practically zooms the short distance between us, moving with what might be supernatural speed. She stands so close that her gown phases through me, uncomfortable in its lack of sensation. And she nods again, this time solemn and hopeful. I can't fight the feeling that she could easily be setting some kind of trap or leading me astray, but I still don't get that impression from her, so I agree. Okay, I'd be happy to. But I can't stay too long or Tara will start to wonder where I am. Tara again. For the first time since we arrived, I was able to fully push her from my thoughts. I was so overwhelmed by meeting this girl that Tara didn't even register on my consciousness. But now there she is again. She's more haunting than the ghost. The ghost in question mouths Tara's name, one of the few words I can actually lip read. The person I came here with. She's, back in the village. The girl's eyes go wide and she points in the direction of the forest, then makes a dragging motion to where we are. This one's easy to understand. No, she's not coming here. She has no idea. For the first time, I'm glad the girl can't speak because it means she can't ask me to elaborate. I don't want to think about Tara right now. Anyway, were you here yesterday too? Watching me? A nod, wholly unapologetic. I thought so. I also thought I might be crazy, though. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised by either one. She looks surprised. I wonder if she knows about the other supernatural occurrences in the forest. Maybe they're connected somehow. The other day, my friend and I were out in the forest. And suddenly there was this huge snowstorm out of nowhere and we saw this giant thing. I stretched my hands to indicate just how enormous it was, but the enormity and terror of it are impossible to convey. I don't even know how to describe it. It was a monster of some kind, like a huge tree had come alive and was walking in the snow. Do you know what I'm talking about? Not only does the girl nod, but she laughs, finding something funny about my story. I'm not sure if I should be worried or not. So you've seen it. Is it, like, evil? A firm shake of her head. That's good. It was honestly the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. After that, we taper off into silence. Well, I do. I don't have a reason to believe her, but so far she doesn't seem threatening at all. I have a hard enough time holding up my end of the conversation under normal circumstances. This just makes it even harder. The two of us just stand there, looking at each other. Now that she's not moving around so much, I'm able to get a better look at her. She seems to be around my age, if not a bit younger. Her hair is long and slightly unruly, reaching well down her back. She reminds me a bit of Rapunzel, all alone in the forest. A cute bow midway down helps keep her hair in place. Her wide eyes are curious but slightly sad. Still, she smiles so easily that I wonder if I'm just imagining the sorrow. As green as emeralds, her eyes kind of remind me of Morgan's. I was so taken aback by her sudden appearance and, well, ghostliness that at first I didn't realize. She's beautiful. Her choice of attire makes a lot more sense now that I know she can't feel the cold. The gown she's wearing has a few dangling threads and scuffed spots, which I assume haven't changed since she died. I shudder, trying not to think of my own mortality. What was it like? Why is she here instead of whatever usually happens when you die? Does she know what she's missing? An afterlife, or lack thereof? I have a million questions about her life, and about life itself. There's so much I want to ask, but it's impossible. Plus, we've only known each other a few minutes. It feels like that would be rude to ask right away. A thick snowflake lands on my cheek, startling me. I'd pretty much forgotten about the weather. Overhead, the clouds are getting worse, and the snow is starting to fall more heavily. As much as I want to spend more time with her, I really don't want to be caught out in a blizzard a second time. I need to go back now. But will you be here again? I'd like to see you again, if you'd like that too. She nods emphatically, with a grin to match. I can't help but smile in return. It's nice to know that someone is looking forward to seeing me. Okay, I'll come back as soon as I can. I promise. Although, I'm not sure when the weather will let me do that. On the next sunny day I'll be here, okay? She nods. Okay, I'll see you soon then, I hope. As I get my last look at her, I know that I'm not imagining the sadness in her eyes now. I glance behind several times on the walk back, each time expecting her to have disappeared once more. But she stays there, waving, until the trees obscure her from sight. A splash of purple fabric against the brown and white of the forest. A little spark of light to look forward to.